Today we're going to be traveling to Fulton County, Georgia, where many people say this is the most gruesome murder in recent history. This was one of the most brutal murders or killings we have ever seen, Fulton County District Attorney Paul Howard said. And you know, if a district attorney says that, it had to have been a really gruesome murder, because he's seen all kinds of shit. That district attorney goes to the courtroom every single day. He knows what kind of craziness is out there in Atlanta. And for him to say this is one of the most gruesomest crimes he's ever seen, that should tell you a lot. These guys actually beat this dude with the 2x4 crowbar for hours before they shot him in the head twice and did other things I'm not going to talk about. You can read the story. I'll leave the link pinned in the comment section description of the video. But it was definitely pretty gruesome, and it happened to this man right here, 33-year-old Christopher Dean. Prosecutors said he figured one last drug deal and he would be able to turn clean, but he never got the chance. On that fall day, Dean was invited to the home of brothers Xavier, 23, and Orlando Gibson, 30. Little did he know the invitation to the house on Sandy Creek Drive in Atlanta would lead to his death. They pounced on him as soon as he arrived, Howard said. Now this is where the story kind of takes a turn. Kind of weird, to tell you the truth. It turns out Dean had once cooperated with authorities in California years ago. The case had no relevance to the Atlanta gang members. You know, after reading that, I asked myself, were these guys checking paperwork? It really made me wonder, are these guys doing background checks before they sell drugs to people out there? That's why it had to have been a hefty drug deal, you know, a pretty hefty one, because I do know that when people want a lot of weight, a large quantity of a particular drug, people will definitely do background checks. And if you are trying to get 2 keys and they do a background check and it shows that you work with police, I mean, what do you expect? Even if it has nothing to do with the drug deal, they don't know that. They don't know you for real. For all they know, he could be recording every single drug deal they've done so far, piling up evidence against him. You never know. These guys might have freaked out and said, you know what, we gotta take him out. You know, gangs and organizations, word travels quickly. And if this dude dropped dime on some high power individuals, I mean, there really ain't no running from it. You know, someone's gonna find you sooner or later. I'm not saying this is the situation with this story, but let's go ahead and enter the courtroom. Remove all hats, pull up your pants, tuck in your shirts. We're about to witness Christopher Lockett be sentenced for one of the most gruesome murders in Fulton County history. That dude's massive, man. Shit.
All right, is the state ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. Ms. Convery?
Damn, did you see dude's eyes?
For the court.
Let me rewind this. Have you ever seen like those anime kittens with the big old eyes? Love that they're about to start crying all the time.
Ms. Convery?
Oh, why do I see shit like this? Why does my mind work the way it does? I don't know.
Good morning to the court.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're here before the court as a result of the jury verdict on April the 1st of 2019 on count 1 of the indictment, participation in criminal street gang activity. The sentencing range is a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of 20 years.
Alright, so what she's doing right now is reading all the charges that he's been convicted for, what he's about to be sentenced for today. And she said the time ranges between 5 to 20 years, I believe, for participation in gang street activity. In a lot of states, they have these guidelines, these point systems that determine not so much the judge determining what you're going to be sentenced to, but the guidelines, the points. If you got in trouble a lot in the past, it's going to boost your points. If you got in trouble when you're very young, it's going to boost your points. If it was a violent crime, it's going to boost your points. All this stuff is put into some kind of equation, and it calculates how much time you're supposed to do. And the judges usually go by these guidelines, I'd say 99% of the time. But it's ultimately up to the judge at the end of the day. They could go above or below the sentencing guidelines.
Count 2, malice murder, is a range of life to life without the possibility of parole.
Number 2, malice murder, which ranges from life to life without the possibility of parole. And I believe malice murder is a Georgia thing. The first time I heard about this charge was when we did the sentencing day not too long ago with the white guy with the glasses. It's titled Sentencing Day Malice Murder if you want to go check it out. But that was my first time ever hearing that kind of murder charge. I've always heard first degree, second degree, manslaughter, third degree, stuff like that, but never malice.
Counts 3, 4, 5, and 6 are felony murder counts that I believe in this case, given the jury's verdict, will vacate as an operation of law.
So for charges 3, 4, 5, and 6, I believe something along the lines of murder is being vacated. So he's not going to be sentenced for those.
Count 7, armed robbery, the court should sentence on that count. The minimum is 10 and the maximum is 20 or life.
Robbery. Do not commit robberies in the great state of Georgia. Said the minimal time frame for robbery is 5. Maximum is 20 to life. You can get life for robbery. Think about that before you rob someone in Georgia.
The count 8, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as a result of the jury's verdict in this case will merge with count 2, malice murder. That's the aggravated assault shooting count. Count 9, aggravated assault, the striking count is a mandatory minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 20 years. The court should sentence on that count. Count 10, tampering with evidence, also court should sentence, and it's a range of 1 year to 3 years. Count 11, concealing the death of another, same recommendation that the court sentence on that count.
There's too many damn charges to pause and break down for y'all, so I just stopped.
The minimum is 1, the maximum is 10. And count 12, if convicted, I believe the court should sentence the defendants on that count. It is a 5-year sentence to run consecutive. And count 13 in this case only as it pertains to
that guy has no hope.
Is a minimum of 1 year and a maximum of 5 years. In this case, Your Honor, the state filed a recidivist notice as it pertains to Mr. Lockett on the 16th of January 2018. That notice lists several convictions, making him a and C recidivist.
Recidivist. Okay, she got some kind of magical recidivist list. I guess that, I don't even know if I'm saying that word right. I've always had problems saying that damn word. But that list, I'm guessing, is probably just showing all of his past charges and, just painting a little gray wash on him before he gets smoked. That's all that is.
And, Judge, just by way of slight mitigation as it relates to Mr. Lockett, he grew up in what I would consider to be a fairly broken home. One of his brothers was...
What does this guy think he's doing? He said he's going to slightly mitigate for his client. Mitigate, for anybody out there that might not know, is kind of like argue or give reasoning behind why he might have done something. I guess that's the best way you could put it. But there ain't nothing you can do, bro. He's got so many damn charges. I think 3 of them have life sentences.
Another one of his brothers spent some time in prison. That would be Mr. Richard Lockett, who Ms. Convery alluded to earlier. And so we have this cycle here that just is not broken.
I went through the same cycle, and look at me. Came out just fine. I didn't go out there and start torturing people. There ain't nothing this guy could say, man. Ain't nothing. Just by him trying to mitigate for his client, would make some judges even more mad than what they already are.
At least give Mr. Christopher Lockett perhaps a chance. Should the court sentence Mr. Lockett to life as opposed to life without parole?
I will start actually with count 2, which is the malice murder charge. And we'll sentence Mr. Lockett as a recidivist to life without parole. Counts 3, 4, and 5.
As a recidivist, life without parole. So I believe if he didn't have a past criminal record, he would have been eligible for life without parole, if I were to guess. But that is the first charge that he was sentenced to, count 2, which is malice murder. Life without the possibility of parole.
Count 1, the court will sentence Mr. Lockett to 20 years to be served concurrently. Count 7, the court will sentence you to life on count 7. Count 8 is going to merge into count 2. Count 9, the court will sentence 10 years to serve. Count 10 will be 3 years.
The smoke never stops.
Will be 10 years.
This is probably the longest Chattanooga train smoking session I've ever seen.
Are there any questions about the court's sentence?
9, 10, and 11, are those all concurrently?
Yes.
Okay, she asked if there's any questions, and the defendant's attorney says 9, 10, and 11 are these charges ran concurrently. They are all ran concurrent, I believe, to the life without possibility of parole. And for anybody that needs a little refreshment on what concurrent is, meaning she grouped all of them together. And usually people want to hear concurrent, but it really doesn't matter for this guy, man. He's done for. Goose is smoked. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What'd you expect? Him to get released on probation? Come on. One of the most gruesome murders in Fulton County history, you already know he was going to get smoked. It's very rarely we enter the courtroom and someone doesn't get smoked, to tell you the truth. So that's just something you need to be expecting from here on out. But if you enjoyed, please do not forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. Go check out all the links in the description of the video. Add me up on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. Go buy yourself some Lockdown 23-in-1 merchandise. Got some Lockdown logos with the D on some book bags, mugs, stuff like that. Got some new t-shirts as well. Look out for the cookout. Go support the channel everywhere you go. And as always, I salute to every last one of you been supporting me since the beginning, and everybody who's just now joining the Lockdown compound. Y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.